besides delinquent heroines, I'm also fond of the whole delinquent heroes or male MCs for that matter. Typically because of how I really just adore the whole looks scary but it's actually kind and overpowered type of character trope, And I haven't touched into this subject deep enough into the whole world of manga, especially as much, but I did find this series in particular a series wherein there's a delinquent MC, it's slice of life, and I find it to be really, really, really interesting. Now, welcome to Puppet, and in today's presentation, we're gonna be taking a look at 1 point advice Yankee, a Yankee who gives advice. So, yeah. Now the plot. The story follows this fellow right here, Sakurai, the delinquent, the Yankee of the story of the manga. Now, from his appearance, he seems to be this scary-looking yakuza mistaken character, which, to be fair, it is really only his glare and, glare, his clothes, and I guess the blonde hair of it all, the entire character design of this protagonist just sets the bar to identify him as or label him as a delinquent Yankee. And yeah, I mean, judging by looks, kind of frightening, but in one end it's also like, okay, he looks like a total normal cool looking dude. The guy's got drip. It's pretty cool. But anyway, moving on. Sakurai right here. He may seem fiendish on the outside, but on the inside, as you would know it, he's very kind, he's very loving, he's very caring, and most of all, he's very, very, very knowledgeable. Knowledgeable in a lot of things. Hence why the manga has the whole 1 point advice theme to it, one has that in the title, advice. So this Sakurai, he gives advice, or really in general solutions, or advice to the problems of the people he meets, and through that they come to know that he is a good person after all. Now, the whole story in itself, it sounds generic in its own way, don't get me wrong. I mean, scary looking dude is actually kind of nice, that kind of trope. But the appeal of this manga is, in my eyes, how I see Sakurai, he is essentially the Yankee version of Zhongli from Genshin Impact. The advice he gives are pretty spot on, or pretty interesting for that matter. I haven't tried them myself, but I do know a bit or two, or I have heard at least of similar effects from the advice he gives, and yeah, it does live up to its knowledge, But the comedy of a whole scary looking dude giving mommy advice is really kawaii. The gap moe of the entire series. Mega Chad respect to the guy. The build up of its this type of character, it chains well to the goodness of other characters as well. Paving a way not only for this whole comedic or slice of life type of story, but also hence the bloom of romantic development, and it's so precious as you would see in the image below. This is one of the romantic interests of the main protagonist, Sakurai. Heck, even a lot of anime adaptations of Yankee MC X insert heroine here type, those type, portrays the goodness of romance between these two personalities. I've actually made a video yesterday talking about how I really adore or really love the way authors love to mix and match, let's say, polar opposites of a personality, or polar opposite people with polar opposite personalities into a couple. I think that's really interesting. It's really sweet. The gap moe is strong, and the whole romantic essence of it just overflows with that juicy goodness of a happy moment. I'll leave the link down in the description below about the manga that I talked about in that video. So yeah, you do check it out if you're interested. But yeah, whatever suits your taste, I guess. Now, to the manga, I originally had thought that it's gonna be a lighthearted admiration type of romance, as you would see in most series, or as I've noticed rather. Sometimes when you think that there's a romantic development or there's romance in the air, in the end of the series or I don't know, manga, or as the story progresses, the romance is nowhere to be found. It's just platonic friends, okay? They're just happy being with each other, alright? But however, there's doujin artists out there who can make it canon. Props to them for making this dream a reality. But suffice it to say, whatever direction the author tended to portray the work is, as it is. There's no reason for us to, get mad about silly things, because there's always a reason. Now, this one in particular, I really, really love it because I'm sensing a really good, really brilliant bloom of a good romantic development. I keep saying good because it is good, don't get me wrong. Now, nevertheless, throughout the series, it is beautiful. The comedic sense, the gags of how people interact with their main protagonist, how all of these interactions between our main protagonist, they all have one thing in common, and that's admiration for Sakurai, the main protagonist. I keep saying main protagonist. I am redundant today. Damn. Where was I? Intertwining companions. It's a really small world, after all, in the manga. I mean, a lot of stories also do so, intertwine. You somehow make connections between characters which you didn't think have any relationship, but actually they do. There you go. But yeah, through that whole intertwining web, it's amazing because there's also romance between it, or how we also get to observe that essence of a slice of life. It's really just, I'm mind blown as to how, from reading the chapters, I noticed that they're considerably short in length. However, it's despite all that, I can just really, appreciate just how much of a good direction this manga takes towards slice of life, romance, and a bit of, funny moments here and there. It's just that type of manga where once you start reading a chapter and decided to take a pause or a break or do other things, then this is one that I really recommend reading because it's just so easy to digest, easy to follow up. It's funny, it's sweet, heartwarming, wholesome, and a really good way to, just take it easy. So yeah, really recommend this, and you're welcome.